I know I took a break from telling you stories, but the paranormal events never stopped. If anything, they got louder. I did not plan to share this next one, not because it isn't terrifying, but because it isn't mine. The story was passed to me the way old curses are passed, quietly, reluctantly, and only when the listener is ready. It came from an elderly man I met years ago. He said he was the last living member of a village wiped off the map, a place that no longer appears in documents, archives, or even satellite images. He told me our dead never stayed dead, and the valley never forgave us for pretending otherwise. Back then, I didn't believe him, but after he told me, after what he showed me, let's just say you might not believe in ghosts now, but you won't feel the same by the end of the story. The old man's village was called Darya Khot, hidden between two cliffs so tall the sunlight barely entered. Every house was made of wood, darkened by centuries of cold wind. Fog clung to the valley floor like something alive. But the strangest thing was this: there was no cemetery, because they didn't bury their dead. He leaned close when he told me that, his breath trembling. In Darya Khot, every death, no matter how tragic, violent, or unnatural, was followed by the same ritual. The body was left in the forest overnight, and the family never spoke of the dead again. When I asked why, he said, because the moment you bury them, they come back for you. The old man was 12 when he saw his first forbidden death. It was his cousin, Arshan, a strong boy, always laughing. One morning, villagers found Arshan's body hanging from the branches of an ancient pine. But it wasn't a suicide. His wrists were shattered, his jaw broken, and symbols, deep, jagged carvings were cut into his chest. Symbols the elders refused to explain. His family was told, leave him in the forest before sundown. Do not cry, do not pray, do not look back. But Arshan's mother broke the rule. She cried. And that night, the old man said, a sound tore through the valley. A deep, guttural wail, like a voice made of soil and broken teeth. The villagers stayed in their homes. But Arshan's mother, she opened the door. By morning, she was found on her doorstep, mouth ripped open, eyes gone, knees bent backward. The elders said she buried him in her heart, and so he came for her. The old man paused when he told me this part. He said, "You're listening, aren't you? So if you want me to continue, make sure you don't disappear like the rest." Stories like this only stay alive when people share them. Before I reveal what happened next, like the video, subscribe, share it with someone who thinks ghosts aren't real. Let's see if they can handle the rest of what happened in Darya Khot. Years later, another death shook the valley. This time, it was the blacksmith. A giant of a man, feared and respected. He was found torn apart inside his workshop. Not by an animal, not by a person. His limbs were arranged in a perfect circle, eyes staring at the ceiling, mouth stuffed with dirt. The elders ordered the ritual, but the blacksmith's brother refused. He said, "We will bury him like a human." The old man's voice cracked as he described the burial that followed. No one helped. No one attended. The brother dug the hole alone. That night, the valley shook again. The forest groaned like a shifting beast. Wind screamed through the houses. Dogs clawed at doors trying to escape. Children hid under floorboards. And the blacksmith's brother? He was dragged out of his home by something invisible. The villagers found what was left of him the next morning. His body broken, twisted into the same circle they found the blacksmith in. Except his own heart was placed in the center of the circle, still warm. People began disappearing from Darya Khot. Not dying, just vanishing from their homes. Doors left open. Footsteps in the mud leading into the forest, but never coming out. The old man's father tried to escape the valley with his family. But every path out looped back in. Days blended, nights stretched. Fog moved like it had mind of its own. And then the elders called a gathering. They admitted something they had kept buried for generations. The valley itself was alive. A spirit older than the village, older than the mountains, and it fed on grief, memory, and the refusal to obey its rules. Darya Khot was not a home, it was a mouth waiting to feed. The old man said their last night in the valley felt like standing inside another breathing creature. The walls of his house pulsed. The air tasted metallic. Shadows moved even when every candle was burning. Then came the knock. Not on the door, but on the roof. Heavy, slow, deliberate. His mother whispered, "Don't look up." But he did. And through the gaps in the wooden ceiling, he saw a face staring down. His cousin Arshan's face. Skin grey, jaw hanging, eyes hollow and dripping mud. Arshan whispered, "You left me, now you all must stay." The villagers tried to run, but the valley twisted around them. Paths shifted, trees rearranged. It was impossible to escape. One by one, he heard people screaming in the dark, bones breaking, bodies dragging, voices calling for help that never came. He never explained how he survived, only that the elders made a deal with the valley, a sacrifice of 7 lives, in exchange for letting the remaining ones go. He was one of the few left. When the sun rose, the valley released him, but it kept his family. To this day, he said, I still hear them calling me back. The old man died 3 months after telling me this story. But 2 weeks before he passed, he mailed me something. A map, hand-drawn, faded, showing the path into the valley of Darya Khot. Pinned to it was a note. Do not bury the dead. Do not cry for them. Do not look back. If you hear knocking on the roof, it means they have found you. And the strange part? The map shows a place exactly 200 kilometers from where I lived. But according to every record I've checked, there has been never a village there. Not once in history. Or at least, that's what the world wants you to believe. If you want me to go there, if you want the next part of the story, like the video, subscribe, share it with someone who thinks legends are harmless. Let's see if they still believe that after they hear the next chapter. Because some folklores aren't stories, they're warnings. Until next time, stay safe out there.